Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this evening's hour of relaxation with me, Katie Forster, courtesy of Ellie's Gift. Great to be here on this balmy eve. Very hot down where I am. Maybe it is with you too. But anyway, an ideal opportunity for some relaxation, just to chill and take the pressure off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start like usual, just with a brief outline of the session. And then I'll take it from there. Okay, so this evening's session, we're going to start with me introducing the theme. So I tend to sort of structure these sessions around a theme. So I'll be telling you a little bit more about that in a moment. There's going to be some very gentle, mindful movement. So this isn't going to be any sort of major movement or, exercises or anything like that. It's literally like a meditation, except we're doing it with some very gentle, very small movements. It's going to be movements of the hands. So literally you can do this sitting, standing, lying, whatever works best for you. But it's nothing strenuous. The emphasis is always, in things being relaxing and bringing us into the present moment. There's then going to be a short break, just for you to maybe have a cooling glass of water. I know I will be. Just about half a minute or so. Then I'll be following through with a soothing sort of nature visualization. And I might include some music with that. We'll see how we're doing for time. And then I'll just end with my usual sort of final thought. Seeing how you can perhaps take some of the calm you might have generated within the session with you into the rest of your evening and indeed your week. Okay, so let's set ourselves up then. So by all means, whilst I introduce this theme, finding a position that works for you. As I say, this mindful movement you can do standing, sitting, lying. We're just going to be doing some mindful movements with the hands. So, and I'll be lying down. So, making sure your body feels comfortable. That's really important. So you're not straining in any positions, upright or overarching the back or holding the head too rigid. Just a nice sort of relaxed posture with the emphasis, I think, definitely on comfort and your body feeling supported, and obviously your body feeling cool enough with this sort of heat wave we're having here in the UK anyway. Maybe have a fan nearby or a window open, some cooling breeze if you've got one, and obviously hydration as well, enough liquids just to sip throughout the session. And whatever else you might feel that you need to make this hour work for you. Okay, so by all means, you can be sort of setting yourself up, getting what you need. And I'll just introduce this theme. So this theme, it's this evening, I've entitled it Sensitizing Ourselves to the Pleasant and the Comforting within us and outside of us. So in mindfulness, we tend to, go into the senses, and that can lead us to go into the body. But equally, senses are giving us information all the time. So we can go outside of the body into hearing, into sight, into smell. So we're looking for the pleasant, the comforting within us, but also without. So in doing this, hopefully we can slowly create more joy and appreciation as well as creating more balance and stability within us. So I'll explain what I mean by that a little bit more. We're wired up with something called the negativity bias. So the long process of evolution over thousands of years has designed us to notice negative experiences more easily. So you've probably heard of those sort of terms: fight, flight, freeze, fawn, all F's. It's done this to keep us safe. You know, evolution has done this, created these responses to keep us safe and protect us from threat. So in cave woman days, the threats would have been saber-toothed tigers. But in the modern day, the threats could be anything from feeling slighted by someone if we smile at them and they don't smile back, for example, or maybe a social media post where we don't get enough likes, or a friend doesn't get back in touch for a while, you know, if we've messaged them or phoned them. All these things, you know, they can fuel our automatic propensity to view our world negatively. You know, we put that negative skew in there before we perhaps think, well, maybe they were just busy, or maybe something's going on in their lives. You know, I certainly know with myself, I'll tend to think, oh, is it me? Yeah. And I suppose it's a relief to know that that is the way that we're sort of wired up. You know, there's no way, there's no necessity to layer on extra layers of guilt if that's how we find ourselves, because that is the way we are designed to protect ourselves. So yeah, but it does put our nervous systems on alert. So therefore, we need to consciously help ourselves rewire our brains towards positive experiences. So the pleasant, the pleasurable, the beautiful. By doing this, we can create more balance in our nervous systems. So we actually feel less under attack, less hypervigilant, less fearful, less anxious, more calm, more open, more responsive. So both the grounding meditation, you know, with the movements, and the visualization, they're designed to help sensitize our brains and our nervous systems towards more positive, pleasurable, and soothing experiences within and without. So through these experiences, bit by bit, we're slowly creating new connections in our brains, which will help us feel more resilient and balanced throughout the challenges we all face in our lives. So that's what we'll be doing this evening, but we'll not be doing it in any trying kind of way. We'll just be doing it in a very relaxed, sort of, I like to use the term byproduct. So it can be, hopefully will be a byproduct of what we're doing, you know, rather than sort of, you know, going for it like that, if that makes sense. Hopefully that'll become evident as we go along. Okay, so I'm going to lie down now, make myself comfortable. If you haven't already chosen your posture, then by all means do so. Making sure your head is suitably supported if you are lying. Let's have a quick sip of water. Okay. Okay, so hopefully you found the posture that works for you. You're feeling comfortable in the present as much as you can. Yeah. Okay, so just taking a moment, just feeling the weight of your body. Whatever posture you've chosen, be that on a chair or lying down or standing, just feeling the weight of your body as it contacts that surface below. So where can you feel your body making contact with that surface? Perhaps if you're lying like me, that will be the back of your head, your upper back, shoulder blades, resting, releasing, opening into that surface, spine, decompressing, the middle back, the thorax, releasing, letting go. All those postural muscles that work so hard to hold us up when we're upright, when we're vertical. Allowing the lower back to release into that surface. So if you are in another position, then please do just adapt this guidance to suit you. So allowing the lower back to release, that gentle curve. And then down into the buttocks, the hips, the clenching. Maybe there's some clenching there. Just becoming aware of that contact with the surface below. And the weight of these points making contact with it. So the weight of the buttocks, those big fleshy muscles of the glutes. Then moving down into the big long muscles of the thighs and the heavy bones of the thighs. Releasing. Allowing gravity just to let the body settle, gently be held by it. I like to think sometimes this idea of the force of gravity is calibrated in such a way that it sort of holds me. You know, I'm not pressed down into the earth, and likewise, I'm not floating up off the earth like on the moon where there's no gravity. So this force of gravity is just right, and it allows the body to be held on the surface of the earth. So allow yourself to be held. And allow your joints to release, so your hip joints, your knee joints, your leg. And then moving down the legs into the ankle joints. Then the feet, the toes. Okay, then coming into touch with the breath in the body. So where can you feel the breath in your body? You're struggling to even be aware of it. The movement of the breath is often a good indicator. So, you know, these obvious points like the chest, the sides, the rib cage, the back of the upper back. You know, the lungs are housed in this whole cavity, this whole thorax of ours. So perhaps you can feel the movement of the lungs in the back of the body. Just give you a few moments. And if you can't, that's absolutely fine. Just being kind and caring towards yourself. This isn't a test. It's just a little exploration, a little mindful exploration, if you like. So if you can sense into your breath, how do you find your breath this evening? Is it located deep, sort of in your, in your torso? Maybe you've got your hands resting on your front. You can feel the rise and the fall of your hands. Perhaps there's a relaxing, soothing rhythm already to your breath. Or maybe your breath is shallow and light. You can sense it more higher up. Maybe resting a hand there if that's the case. Just giving your chest some sort of comfort. It's that sense of pressure. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat under your hand. Often just becoming aware of sensations, aware of the breath, that can be enough just to enable the body just to calm, just all by itself. There's no trying involved. It's like we become aware and it's like, oh, okay. And then we can sort of let go because we're aware of what we're doing. You might even find taking some conscious breaths if you're struggling to find your breath, that might help. So maybe taking in, if you've got your hand resting on your belly, maybe breathing into your hands and then breathing out slowly. Nice and long on the out breath. And breathing again, nice and deep, in through the nose. Allowing the lungs to expand, the diaphragm to subside. And then gently releasing. Allowing all that air to empty out of your lung cavity. Okay, so I mentioned earlier that we're going to be doing some mindful movement. It's going to be very low-key, more of an exploration, really. So we're going to be exploring our hands. So maybe raising the hands or raising one hand if you want to keep the other one resting. Just examining your hand. There's so many touch receptors in our fingertips. In fact, there's so many touch receptors all over our skin, but especially so in our fingertips. Maybe feeling the tips of the fingers. What does that feel like? Just gently stroking the tips of your fingers. Maybe using the sense of sight to look at the hands. Maybe looking at the palms. If you've got both hands raised. Do the palms look the same or do they look different? The lines on the palms. Maybe stretching the fingers and seeing how the hand looks different. Can you see any more veins? Any different colours? Then just gently releasing the hands. Watching the skin release. The lines become deeper. Perhaps your skin's mottled or very pink, very white. What colour would you use to describe the colour of the skin on your hands? Or is there a range of tones? Maybe whites, pinks, browns. Maybe turning your hands over and looking at the back of them. How's the skin different here on the back of your hands to, say, the front of your hands, to your palms? I noticed I've got a lot more freckles on my skin. The skin definitely doesn't feel as smooth on the back of my hands. Maybe stroking one hand with the other. What does that feel like? Those touch receptors on the back of the hand or on the hand that's stroking. What does your skin feel like? Tuning into that sensation of skin on skin. Of course, the body doesn't register that it's us stroking ourselves, if that makes sense. It's the same as if somebody else is. So, you know, we get those feel-good hormones, those relaxing hormones released just by receiving touch. So maybe that feels relaxing, gently stroking a hand. Okay, so just bringing your hands together, that prayer position. And then just gradually letting go and just relaxing your hands onto your chest. Just tuning in again to the breath, if you can. Maybe you can feel your heartbeat beneath your hands. Maybe your hands feel comforting, that weight of them and the warmth of them resting on your chest. So what we're going to explore now, just a couple of really simple movements, and we're going to see if we can just gently, in a very relaxed way, see if we can synchronize the movement of the hands with the movement of the breath. It's like this movement in nature, I suppose, sort of flowing, opening and closing, moving forward and moving back, out and in. So we're just going to sort of replicate that, if you like, with our hands. So raising your hands and just in your own time, just gently tuning into the breath and seeing if you can expand your hands, your fingers out, open your fingers out, perhaps maybe like a flower opening, imagining it's the petals of a flower opening in the morning, and then the evening, petals closing. So on the in breath, that gentle opening, and then on the out breath, that gentle closing. In your own time. If you're struggling to do this, find your breath or find a rhythm, just gently moving your hands and exploring the sensation of the movement. In breath, opening, out breath, closing as the lungs contract back up into the lungs, back up into the ribcage. Opening, closing. Where do you find your mind as you do this? Perhaps it's gone on a little adventure. If it has, just gently, kindly, just guiding it back to these movements, back to my voice. You might find closing your eyes really helps tune into these movements. How is it different when you close your eyes to when you have your eyes open? Okay. So we're just going to try just one more movement. So just bringing the hands together, the tips of the fingers. I like to think of this a bit like a jellyfish sort of movement, if you like. So just on the in-breath, opening out as the lungs expand. And then on the out-breath, bringing the fingers in as the lungs rise back up into the chest cavity. So the fingers draw in as the torso draws in. Expansion, contraction, or condensing. Natural rhythm of nature, expansion, contraction. What does this movement feel like? Gentle stretch in the fingers, the palms. Perhaps you find you're holding your breath. If you are, just allowing it to release. Gently, kindly, passionately. Not over efforting or over concentrating. We're not striving for perfection here. Just having a bit of fun. Okay. And then we're just going to stop that movement and just look at our hands as if we're looking at them for the first time. These tools of ours, if you like, that enable us to do so much throughout the day. All those, I was going to say hundreds, but it's probably thousands of activities that we could do. And those movements that we can make, all those different ranges of movements, those opposable thumbs that enable us to open things and tie things and pick up things, grip things. Maybe feeling just a bit of sort of gratitude or thanks for these amazing hands of ours. Do so well throughout the whole of our lifetime. Giving it their best shot, despite, any injuries or challenges they may face. Okay, so just allowing the hands to relax now, either on your body or at your sides if you're lying, on your lap maybe if you're sitting. I'm just going to give you half a minute or so just to maybe have another sip of your drink if you have a drink with you, maybe changing position, and just setting yourself up for this visualization. Also, if you need to pop to the loo, there's ample time for that, so by all means do. Okay, so I'll just give this a little bit longer if any of you have popped out. Okay. Okay, so once again, taking up your posture, your position where you feel comfortable and supported. And allowing your body to really relax. Maybe taking another cleansing breath in and a breath out. Breathing out any tension in your body. Beginning to feel relaxation at the bottom of your feet. So allowing your attention to focus, to rest on your feet. It might feel perhaps like you could imagine that you're stepping into a warm bath. The sun is gently warming your feet. So feeling a sense of relaxation, it might feel tingling, might feel warming or soothing. And allowing a sense of relaxation to spread throughout your feet, your toes, your heels, the arches of the feet, soles of the feet, tops of the feet, and then rising up into your ankles, warming, soothing, relaxing any tension. Then allowing this sense of relaxation to flow up into your lower legs, your muscles becoming loose, relaxed, easy. And this relaxation gently floating up your shins and your calves, up into those knee joints, so that your knee joints can unlock and release any tension they might be holding from the day. And then that relaxation spreading higher now, moving up beyond your knees into your upper legs, so your thighs, the long, expansive muscles of the thighs, stretching from the knee joint to the hip joint, the tops, the sides, the insides, and the back of the thighs. Allowing this sense of relaxation now to rise now up into your buttocks, and up through your buttocks into the base of your back, your sacrum, then seep upwards through all the tiny joints of your spine. There's 24 joints in the spine, in the human spine, 24 vertebrae, so allowing that sense of relaxation to rise up through all those articulations, all those joints, pouring upwards into the middle back, and then your upper back, and then across, filling up both your shoulders, the broad expanse of both shoulders on either side of the midline of the spine. Allowing, encouraging the upper body to release and let go. Feeling this sense of relaxation flowing across into either arm, each arm on either side, filling the shoulder joints, flowing down now into the elbows, and ever lower into the wrist joints, the intricate wrist joints. And then flooding into both of your hands, the palms, the knuckles, or your fingers, your thumbs, filling up with this sense of relaxation. Your hands feeling pleasantly warm perhaps, or heavy. No gripping, no holding on to the past or reaching for the future. Then allowing your attention to move back up your arms, back into your shoulder joints, and allowing them to sink back even further into the support, into the embrace of gravity, if you're lying. Now feeling that sense of relaxation continue to spread to your chin, up into your chin, through your throat, up into your chin, and then the back of your head, your jawline, your mouth, your cheeks, your nose, your eyes, your ears, filling the whole of the globe of your head. Eyelids beginning to feel heavy, eyebrows releasing any tension of the day, ears relaxing, forehead relaxing. Let the relaxation spread further now to the top of your head, the very tip of your scalp. Your entire body now feels relaxed and calm. Sense of relaxation is sort of swirling around your body, calming you, finding any crevices that might feel any sense of tension and just allowing those areas to let go even more. Perhaps you could imagine yourself breathing in relaxation and breathing out any tension or any holding you might still have. You can imagine each breath maybe washing away any remaining tension. Each breath, each in-breath carries with it soothing and restful relaxation, like a gentle balm for your body. Okay, so now that your body and your mind feel increasingly calm and relaxed, I'm going to ask you to imagine yourself walking outdoors. You're walking through the trees. So there's a variety of trees perhaps in this forest. Oak trees, beech trees, ash trees. An ancient forest or woodland. The leaves on these trees are rustling in the slight breeze. The sun shines down warmly. You notice a clearing up ahead, so you walk towards that. As you come closer to the clearing, you see that it's a meadow. So you walk out of the trees into this meadow. The tall green grass blows gently. You're probably feeling a bit tired, so you think to yourself, perhaps maybe it would be really nice to sit down or lie down in this grass. So what does your meadow look like? your mind's eye. What does it feel like? What does the grass feel like beneath your feet? What do the leaves sound like? The edge of the field surrounding it. The sky up above, puffy white clouds, blue sky. Perhaps it has a variety of wild grasses, each blade with its own unique array of seeds arranged on its stem. Perhaps all these grasses are gently blowing in the breeze, swaying together in their own little dance. Maybe you can hear the comforting rustle of these slender grasses as they gently sway in unison all together, like a shushing sound. Soothing and relaxing nature sounds. So you find a place to sit, and then you decide if you want to sit or if you want to lie even. Maybe you have a soft blanket with you that you can unroll over the grass and lie down. You feel the gentle breeze caress your skin. It's a pleasant day, it's warm, but it's not too hot. It's very quiet and it's very peaceful here, just with the sounds of nature. So how does it feel in your body just to be here? There's nowhere else to go. There's nothing else to do or be. Let's just take a moment just to rest here in this peaceful place. Feeling that peacefulness and that sense of freedom permeating our bodies. Just sitting, lying, nothing to do, calm, relaxed. So you open your eyes. You begin to slowly notice more of the sights that are around you. There's a unique clarity to your vision. There's no whirring mind getting in the way, taking you off on an endless train of thoughts. You're simply here now, in communion with nature. You notice the lush green grass as well as the amazing mix of wild meadow grasses, clover, and plus an array of beautiful wildflowers all sprinkled about you. There are large tall daisies with their round heads of yellow and pristine white. Wild poppies, deep red, their papery petals bobbing about in the breeze, as if they're sort of nodding to you, nodding a welcome, encouraging you to rest here with them just for a while in this special moment. There's wild forget-me-nots with their intricate detail of blue and yellow. Meadow buttercups, a rich golden yellow, reaching up to the open skies up above. Wild cowslip gracefully rising above with florets of tiny white flowers. You watch with affection as a cute little ladybird with its tiny little legs climbs up a tall blade of grass. When it reaches the top, it pauses for a moment, gently warming itself in the summer sun. And it's suddenly gone, whizzing off and away to land on another tall blade of grass a bit further away. It's just perfect here, this special place of yours. Now imagine perhaps closing your eyes and listening to all the varied sounds of the meadow. Hear the gentle and soothing swish of the lush grass and the taller wild grasses. The gentle rustling of the leaves and the trees at the edge of the field. Each tree and its leaves has its own texture of sound, Some are deeper, some are lighter, all are soothing and calming. Perhaps you might notice the different sounds of birdsong nearby, in the meadow and further off in the distant trees too. Blackbird, song thrush, a lone cuckoo maybe, tiny skylarks imperceptible to the eye, warbling away up above. You rest back and you soak it all in, all these soothing sounds, allowing yourself to be serenaded by nature's sweet symphony. You are comfortable, you're comforted, you're safe. How do you feel in your body now as these waves of soothing sound gently wash through you, supported and held by the warm earth beneath? Perhaps you can feel the sun, especially on your face, maybe turning your face up towards the sky, eyes closed still, enjoying the warmth of the sun as it soothes your brows and gently warms your skin. You can feel the penetrating and soothing warmth comforting your eyes behind their closed lids. You feel deeply relaxed by this warmth. You can smell the grass, the fresh grass, the scented wildflowers, the smell of the sun on the earth, purifying, cleansing fresh air permeated with the many scents of this special meadow. Your very own meadow created just for you in your imagination. You gaze around you again to see what else you can see. You notice how the horizon follows the gentle contours of the surrounding hills, rolling away off into the distance. You look upwards at the brilliant blue sky above. A few wispy clouds gently drift slowly by. It's so peaceful and calm here. It's a truly British summer's day. Maybe you spy some swallows darting across the sky, like tiny arrows whizzing here and there. You hear the gentle rush of wings as a small flock of starlings call to each other, passing overhead. And much higher up, you notice two tiny dots. It's a pair of hawks circling on the rising thermals. They're effortlessly gliding, elegantly twisting and turning. You find them mesmerizing to watch. And then you can hear them, the distant call of one to the other, and then the other calling back. This meadow is lush and green. It's a haven for birds and animals. As you watch, a deer peers out through the trees and he emerges to graze at the edge of your meadow. The deer raises its head to look at you, gently sniffing the breeze, and then turns, disappearing silently into the trees. Had a moment, just you and this deer, communing in nature. You rest back and you luxuriate in this peaceful, beautiful meadow. You notice the sights, the sounds, the smells around you. Feel your soft blanket beneath you, the sun and the breeze on your skin. Just imagine all the details of this perfect place. Okay. So, as I begin to bring this guided visualization, your special place, this peaceful field, this peaceful meadow created in your imagination, to a close, you begin to feel ready to come back into the here and now, returning to the present. Just gently, slowly, no rush. Just returning to the here and now in your room. Very slowly you begin to refocus your body and your mind. You feel your muscles reawakening as you open your eyes or you raise your gaze. You take in the familiar surroundings of your room. Shapes and shadows, light colours, familiar objects maybe, plants, pictures. You might want to introduce a bit of gentle movement. Maybe some of those mindful movements that we did earlier. Gently opening the fingers, stretching the palms, and then closing the hands, closing the fingers. Just coming back into your body. Might want to introduce some bigger movements, maybe some bigger stretches. Being still the whole time. So just taking a moment just to allow yourself to surface, if you like, just to reawaken completely. Okay. So welcome back. I hope you found that relaxing, soothing. Managed to maybe imagine a special place, create that in your mind's eye. So you've literally just got a minute or so left. So yeah, I'll just finish with that final thought that I mentioned at the beginning. So I hope that you found this session relaxing, and perhaps you've experienced some pleasant and calming sensations within your body. Perhaps in using your imagination, you've managed to create some beautiful and calming imagery that has given you some comfort and some restoration, relaxation. Of course, it's important to remember that you can do either the first, sort of mindful movement, meditation, if you like, because that's all we're doing. We're just meditating on movement. You can do that whenever throughout your day. You don't have to do a whole 10-20 minutes of it. You could just do a couple of movements, just focusing on the hands, maybe synchronizing with the breath. If you do find your breath is high in your chest, maybe placing your hands on your chest and contacting your breath, putting your hands over your nose, checking out, how do you feel? And maybe, bringing in some movement. I find movement really helps me rather than just sort of being still. It gives me something to do that sort of helps me transition from my busy mind, transition back into my body and sort of calm. Okay. So I think all that really remains to say is that, these sessions, they do come free to you. So, if you could manage any donation, however small that might be, zero pressure, these challenging times. But if you could, that'd be fab. You could make a donation via Lucy's website, the Ellie's Gift website, or via the link in the email you were sent about this evening's session, if you were sent an email. But no pressure. Okay, so thanks everyone. Take care. I'll see you again in 2 weeks' time. It's Lucy next week. I think she's got a session on Thursday as well, her monthly mindfulness session. So you might like to check out that. Otherwise, she'll be here next Monday with another hour of relaxation, and then I'll be back the week after. Okay, so you take care, everyone. Keep cool. And look after yourselves. Okay, all the best.